This week on the show, we have visibility and mindset coach, Jon Hillstead.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of seeing other people's success as motivation rather than getting jealous. Most people see other people's success as a threat. They see someone doing well as validation that success is only reserved for the few that get lucky. But the reality is, if you see someone else being successful, it's confirmation that it's possible for you too. If they can do it, you can too. When we begin to use other people's success as motivation, we strive to become better and become fueled by the possibility that we too can achieve greatness. The most successful people in the world you see today oftentimes didn't have things handed to them. They worked hard, had a relentless belief in themselves, and through heaps of failure, got their big break because they refused to give up. The next time you feel a little jealous when you see someone winning, instead replace that jealousy with motivation and remind yourself that someone else's success does not take away from yours, as there is enough abundance in the universe for us all to shine bright and achieve our dreams. As Robin Sharma quotes, "Unsuccessful people get jealous when they watch the mastery of others. Successful people get inspired."
Stay tuned. Coming up after the break.
And Jon, you've really manifested your dream life. I see people like Jessica Alba, Little Nas X. Those are the kind of people that are, watching your content as well. How has it been seeing that you're inspiring people from all over the world? And what is the biggest thing you've manifested so far? I'm curious.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see like celebrities liking, commenting, and sharing on my posts, and every single time it happens, I'm always like, oh my god, that person is like in my field right now. And then I remember which I think is helpful for everybody here who's listening, is they're just people, right? Absolutely. And what I love about social media these days is now everybody has a chance to shine. Regular people have a chance to show up and share their gifts and their art and their music and their content and be seen by many people for it. Yeah. And so it's really a beautiful thing to see all these incredible people in the world stepping into their power and sharing their gifts and their light with the world. And being their own type of celebrity,
Wardrobe provided by Le Chateau. Next up on the show, we have manifestation and visibility coach, Jon Hillstead. Jon, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
So good. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. As I was telling you before, I'm a big fan of your work, so I'm really excited to talk to you. We have a lot to talk about, but before we get into all of that and you being a manifestation coach, I want to take it back to the beginning. I know that you mentioned that you were broke, depressed, and working a 9-to-5 job that you hated. So tell us about that time in your life and how it kind of led you to an awakening.
Yeah, so flashback to me in Seattle, Washington, in my teeny tiny little studio apartment. I was really going through my rock bottom. I think all of us experience a rock bottom, if not multiple rock bottoms.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this was my rock bottom. I remember working a job that at that time, it just wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't in alignment anymore. I knew that I wasn't happy there. I would go home every day and I would get stoned out of my mind, smoking tons of weed, trying to just cope with the emotions and suppress everything that I was feeling. And it just got to this place where I couldn't do it anymore. And I really got to this dark space in my mind where I was feeling really hopeless. I was feeling like I wanted to end it all. And it got really dark and depressing. And so I was sitting there on my bathroom floor, really considering ways to commit suicide. I was having all these suicidal thoughts just because I didn't really feel like things could change, or I didn't feel that empowered state that I could make a shift in my experience. I always felt like I was the victim of my circumstances.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment, there was this almost like a divine intervention that came in, and it was this wake up moment where I realized that I was actually observing all of these thoughts. I was observing all of these emotions. I was the awareness perceiving this whole experience. And it was that moment that I was like, wait a second, I'm not these thoughts. I'm not these beliefs. I'm not this circumstance. I'm the higher being or the consciousness that's observing it all. So if I'm that consciousness observing these thoughts, then that means that I have the ability to shift the thought. I have the ability to change the way I feel. I have the ability to possibly heal. So it was this beautiful like wake up call that I had that was like, wait a second, you can change, you can make a difference, you can shift this reality that you're going through right now. So that was sort of my big aha wake up moment. And from that point, I was just diving into all the personal development material. I was like binge watching YouTube videos about, personal development, spirituality, reading all the books, journaling, doing all these things, going to therapy. I was just like fully invested all in on my healing. And so that was sort of the breakthrough moment for me, where it was like, I can make a shift. I can change my life. I can change these circumstances. I am the creator. I am at cause for everything that I'm creating in my world. And that means that I can create something different.
I love that. I feel that every successful person before they became successful had to hit rock bottom before they got their breakthrough. It's something like that. It has to happen like that, because it's the way that you kind of navigate and figure out who you are. And I want to talk about, so many people can relate to working a 9-to-5 job that they hate, feeling unfulfilled. So how do you help your clients navigate through those emotions and really realize that there's so much more in store for them?
Yeah, I think it's having that awareness, first of all, of like, I'm not happy with my life. I'm not happy with my job. Because a lot of us, I think, deny that for so long, right? We sort of ignore those feelings, we ignore those thoughts, we ignore that reality, because it's actually scary to be honest with ourselves and say, oh my God, like, I'm not happy with my life, or I'm not happy with this job. And who would I be without it? I don't know what's on the other side. There's a lot of fear there. There's a lot of unknowns there, right? So I think that it's recognizing and having the awareness that you're feeling this type of way, and being really honest with yourself, and having a moment with yourself and say, okay, we're not happy here. We're not fulfilled. So something needs to change. And then it's getting clear on, okay, well, I know what I don't want. I know I don't want to be in this situation. I know I don't want to be at this job. What do I want instead? Because often when we know what we don't want, then we know what we do want. So it's actually getting that clarity on what it is you'd like to experience instead. And that's even going on a little journey for yourself. That's even taking some time to journal it out and going through some different prompts. I always give my clients different prompts to really spark those ideas and to spark that inspiration and to help them uncover what it is that they actually want. And really, under that desire, it's actually, how do you want to feel? Because it's the feeling we're after, right? It's not the money, it's not the job, it's not the partner, it's the way that we're going to feel when that thing comes into our experience. It's the emotion we're after. So it's not really the money, it's the freedom you want, or the security, or the expansiveness. It's not the partner you want, it's the love that you want to feel. So it's really uncovering and getting to the bottom of the emotion that you're after, and then sort of architecting your whole life and creating that vision for yourself is the first step.
And one thing you encourage everyone to do is really to show up as their authentic self and be unapologetic about it. And you do that, and I love that about your content, is that you are unapologetically yourself. Was there ever a time in your life where you were kind of fearful to show people who you really were? And how do you encourage our viewers to really show up as who they really are and not be afraid to do so?
Yes, there was definitely a time where I was terrified, and still am to this day. Like there are still new levels of, being my full self that I get to show to the world, and it's terrifying. It really is. It's my deepest core wound, is to feel safe to be my authentic self in the world. That was my biggest traumatic experience, was not feeling safe to be me, especially as somebody who identifies as a queer man. Growing up, I would play with the Barbies and dress up in the dresses and wear the makeup and play with my sister and all the girl toys. And I knew that wasn't accepted by those around me. So I quickly turned that off, and I shut off that part of me, and I hid that for so long. And so it's been a beautiful journey of me sort of coming out in a way and sharing who it is that I truly am with the world, and feeling safe to do that. And I think that for a lot of people, that's one of the most challenging things to do. And yet it's the thing that we all desire most. I think we all desire just to be ourselves. We just want to be accepted and loved for who we truly are in the world, right? Without the masks, without the personas. And that's your most powerful point of attraction too. If you want to manifest your wildest dreams, be your authentic self, because that's when you're the most magnetic. That's when you're in alignment with all the things that are meant for you in this experience, because you're not trying to be like somebody else. You're not trying to go after somebody else's dream. You're fully integrated and aligned to who you truly are. You're showing up in the world as that fullest expression of you, and the universe is like, okay, let's bring in all the things that are meant for you, right? All the things that are aligned for you. So I think it's learning to accept yourself. Number one, love yourself, accept yourself, and like be okay with the weirdness, the kooky, crazy things that make you, like the things you do behind closed doors that maybe you judge yourself for. Yet that's who you truly are. And starting small and starting to show up in spaces and places as that full version. I think it takes time. It takes consistent action for sure. And yeah, I think it's the most rewarding and liberating feeling ever.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's something that I've learned over the years, and I'm at a point in my life now where I just show up unapologetically myself, and I notice the right people love it, right? The people that, the right people love it, and they love you for it, right? And it's only the people that are not meant for you that are offended by it, but the people that love you, love your confidence, and love that you are who you are, right? So I think that's something that you grow to be over time once you start, you stop being fearful, right? So I think that is a beautiful place to be in. And Jon, you have some amazing qualifications. I know that you're trained in NLP, you're a clinical hypnotherapist, and you're an EFT practitioner. How do you use these techniques to reprogram your clients' minds?
Yeah, I love modalities. Like, I absolutely love exploring new tools and modalities because I love having this tool belt that I have all these tools and I can pull out what I need when I need it. So the sessions are very intuitive based on what the client is giving me, what they're moving through, and based on what they're moving through, they'll use one of these tools from NLP, one of these tools for hypnotherapy, right? It just depends on the client specifically. But a lot of these tools are helping break through the conscious mind and go into the subconscious, because the subconscious mind is creating 95% of your experience. So the real change, if we want to facilitate real change, it has to take place on that deeper subconscious level. So it's these specific tools that I work with that help get to that subconscious level and help to reprogram those beliefs, the identities, the values at that deeper level.
And Jon, you've really manifested your dream life. I see people like Jessica Alba, Little Nas X. Those are the kind of people that are, watching your content as well. How has it been seeing that you're inspiring people from all over the world? And what is the biggest thing you've manifested so far? I'm curious.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see like celebrities liking, commenting, and sharing on my posts, and every single time it happens, I'm always like, oh my god, that person is like in my field right now. And then I remember like, which I think is helpful for everybody here who's listening, is they're just people, right? Absolutely. And what I love about social media these days is now everybody has a chance to shine. Regular people have a chance to show up and share their gifts and their art and their music and their content and be seen by many people for it. And so it's really a beautiful thing to see all these incredible people in the world like stepping into their power and sharing their gifts and their light with the world, and being their own type of celebrity, So what was the other question?
What is the biggest thing you've manifested so far?
Oh, the biggest thing I've manifested? Oh my gosh. I want to say, I think it's just been my whole business trajectory. It's been my business success. It's been like growing my audience and like doing it all very quickly as well. Like I just started this in 2020 and things took off quite quickly and rapidly. And I'm hosting in-person retreats now and across the world, and selling them out, which is wild to me. It still is wild to me. So I would say like my business success and like the visibility that I've been able to cultivate and create, and just me really showing up and saying yes to life and allowing myself to be seen on shows like this. Hi, this is me, right? This is who I am.
Yeah.
I think that's been my greatest manifestation.
Yeah. Speaking about your business, I know that you have some amazing retreats. I know there's one in Costa Rica. I was telling my producer that, I want to attend one of your retreats. Tell us about the retreats that you offer. And I know you also do one-on-one coaching.
Yeah. The retreats, they're called expansion retreats. And they take place all over the world. We've done a couple here in the US. We've done Costa Rica. Peru is coming up in November. And I love to host these retreats at spaces and places that I'm connected to deeply, places that have helped support me on my journey. And so it's really important that I have that deep connection wherever we're having the retreat. The retreats are a whole lot of fun. I mean, we're doing the deep work. We're doing the belief shifting. We're releasing. We're clearing. We're visioning our big dreams. We're regulating our nervous system. We're dancing. We're playing. We're being in nature. It's a whole combination of things that help people really walk away feeling completely spacious, expanded, lit up about life, inspired to create and take big action on their vision. So it's been really, really fun to create and, cultivate these in-person containers.
Absolutely. And Jon, how do you help people get rid of feelings of unworthiness? Because I feel like a lot of people, they feel like success is reserved for only a select few. Being lucky is reserved for a select few. But really, it's available to all of us if we tap into our personal power, right? So how do you allow people to really, know that they're worthy themselves of everything life has to offer?
Yeah, a lot of the work I do is getting to the root of the decision. It's like, when did you decide that you weren't good enough? When did you decide that you weren't worthy? And uncovering when that was and what the story was around that and clearing it from that root. And then also looking to have expanders, like having expanders in your life, people that you look up to who maybe are doing similar things to you, people who are where you desire to be or have what you desire to have, or people who are living the life you desire to live. Having those expanders is so important because they help you to realize the potential that lies within you, because they're simply mirroring back to you your own possibility, your own potential. They're mirrors for you because what's possible for them is absolutely possible for you. And so I love having expanders in my life, and I think that's a great way to remind people of what's possible. So it's getting to the root, uncovering the belief, uncovering the decision or the experience you had that made you decide that you weren't worthy, and then having those people that help remind you of your infinite potential.
And what do you think the biggest problem people have when manifesting? I feel like, we see all these videos, we all want to manifest things in our lives, but, most of us have so much resistance to manifesting. Like, we want it and we see other people doing it, but sometimes it doesn't work for us. How would you kind of navigate through those emotions of really being able to manifest the life you want?
Yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck on the outcome. They get stuck on I want this thing, I don't have it, right? So when we're focused on the lack of it, we're focused on the absence of the desire, we're vibrating, we're operating in that energy of I don't have. And so we're creating more energy of I don't have. And so what I like to tell people is to remember that the process is the prize. It's not about the end result. The end result is just the byproduct. The manifestation is a byproduct of the soul expansion that you came for. Your biggest dreams are actually there to support your growth and evolution as a soul. So thinking about something that you've created, some big dream that you've already manifested, a goal that you've achieved, and looking back and recognizing who it is that you became on the way to that goal. How much you've grown, the confidence you cultivated, the trust that you built within yourself. It's all about that. And so to help remind people that it's less about the end result, it's more about the process. The process is the prize, and to fall in love with that journey, to fall in love with that process on the way to the desire. And that helps to relieve the resistance. That helps to release any of the, I need it now. Where is it, right? Release the chokehold, let go, and relax enough to allow it to come into your experience.
I love that you said that. It's really about the journey, because when we actually get that thing, we're like, we got it. On to the next thing, right? We always want, but it's really the journey of trusting ourselves and realizing that we are co-creators, right? We have the ability to create everything we want based on our thoughts and how we think, right? So I think that it's really, as you said, it's the relationship with ourselves. And Jon, I created my platform to inspire, to uplift, and really to be a beacon of light for anyone watching that might be going through a hard time. So for anyone watching this that might be depressed, feeling stuck, maybe not seeing their goals manifest, what would you say to uplift them and give them some words of inspiration?
Yeah, I feel you. Wherever you're at, I want you to know you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay, even if it's in a hard place, even if it's in a challenging time, coming back to the present moment, really reconnecting back to presence, because often we're in our head about what's not working or what's happened in the past. And when we're in the past and when we're in the future, we're disconnected from our greatest power, which is right here and now. So being fully present to where you are, being fully accepting with where you're at, recognizing that you have the power to shift this circumstance. It's in your hands. Mm-hmm. You're not at the effect of your situation unless you decide that you are. You are at the cause of your creation. You are the powerful creator who has the ability to make the shift and make the change, and to know that is your innate birthright to manifest your dream life. Mm-hmm. To know that if there's a desire that's on your heart, it means that there's a version of you that already has it. If there's a desire that's on your heart, it means that it's meant for you. And it means that you have the tools and the resources inside of you right here and now to bring it to life.
Absolutely. I want to actually talk about that. Before I let you go, I want to talk about that, about, they say there's many versions of ourselves that exist at the same time. Can you explain to us a little bit about that? There's a version of ourselves that's broke. There's a version of ourselves that's successful. There's a version of ourselves that, has everything we want. Talk to us about these different versions that all exist at the same time.
Yeah. So Darriel, think about you and your amazing show that you're hosting right now, right? This wasn't always your reality.
No.
Right? At one point it was just a thought, it was just a dream. Yeah. And so you were that version at one point, envisioning this version that you are today. Right? Yeah. And so there's only ever the present moment. If we really think about it, there's no future, there's no past. The future and the past are simply illusions. We only are ever living right here in this present moment. And a lot of people are thinking about time very linearly. And that's how we're conditioned. That's how we're taught to think about time is, there's a past, there's a now, and there's a future. But all of it is simultaneously happening right now because we're only ever living in the now.
Yeah.
So all those potential versions of you exist simultaneously in this now moment. And we can go into like quantum physics and the quantum field and just simply put, the quantum field is this place of infinite possibilities. And we have the ability to connect and tap into that field and embody the version of us that we desire to be in this now moment by becoming that version now, by thinking the thoughts they would think, by believing the beliefs they would believe, taking the actions they would take, right? Putting ourselves in environments that person would put themselves in. So it's really about seeing, okay, the version of me who has everything that they desire, how are they thinking? How are they acting? What are they believing? And how can I embody those qualities right here now in this moment?
I love that. It's just that we have to embody who we want to be. And once we do that, we can align to be that person. I mean, it sounds really easy, right? If we actually get it, we can just align ourselves by
it's easy, right?
It's easy, yeah. And Jon, for all of our viewers that want to get coached by you or join one of your retreats, where can they do so?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Jon Hillstead. You can reach out to me via email or go to my website, jonhillstead.com. And would love to see you at one of the retreats or in one of my programs.
Jon, thank you so much for being on the show today. Honestly, keep up the amazing work. I'm such a big fan of yours. I've been watching your videos. I love your little rants that you do about you just hype people up, and you're really doing amazing work in this world. So congratulations on all your success, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for you.
Thank you so much. And same to you. Congratulations on your beautiful show that you're hosting. It's been an honor to be here, and thank you for having me on.
The Darriel Roy Show is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.